Follow the finger.
Restorations where all turns new. Bikes and cars revived, it's quite a view. With Kaz and Winnie, the restoration team will make these classics fulfill their dream. Watch the shades from rust to shining chrome. Each builds a journey, glad you've come along. If our restorations get your motor running, like and subscribe, keep the channel humming.
Hello, good morning, welcome back to the channel. Today I should really get back into the van and sort this back out. I've got lots of wood to take out of Kaz's shed to get out of her way so she can do her things in there, and I just really need to crack on. I've not been brilliant the last few days. I've got that nasty rash starting to appear again on my hand. For those of you that are new to the channel, welcome. It's not all doom and gloom. For those of you, the rest of you, welcome back. For those of you that are new to my channel, my name's Adi. I try to breathe life into old things that are a little bit past it, like myself really. I have a few health issues. I have lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, and a few more things in the background. So life isn't easy doing physical things, or mental things come to that matter, because of the fatigue. Which wipes me out, and the last few days I've been in bed basically, so I've not done any videoing since then. I think the last one you saw me doing was probably the Temu stuff, which I've had a few comments and get a tripod and yeah, I would have done, guys. I'm really sorry, I've not been in the right headspace. Just that I thought, what can I make a video of today, and the parcel arrived, so there we are. Incidentally, the footwear, those trainers that turned up with the clicky ratchety, fantastic. I have been wearing them non-stop. Today I've got my steel toe cap work boots on, but that's for a good reason, because I am literally going to be doing stuff in the back of the van with heavy bits and pieces lying around. Right. So that's kind of brought you up to speed with the rest of this. I will be doing better, more Temu unboxing and unbagging stuff in the future, because it's been well received. And I like that. My job as a YouTuber is to create content for you guys to sit and watch and to learn from, and to well, not learn from, but to get reviews, to understand what things are and why things are, and if it's shit, don't buy it, sort of thing, you know, kind of stuff. So today I really need to finish the ceiling. Oh, yawn, says everybody. Oh, shut up. First of all, I need to get rid of whatever someone's spray. It looks like a cross between spray glue and expanding foam, and it just hasn't worked. I don't know what was up here before, no idea, but in order to get this off, one needs to simply very lightly, let's do a big bit, because once you get a little bit started, like, you can actually grab hold of it and start pulling it, and it does sort of come off. Oh, just do that. Okay, so I've got to do that for here and up there, and then I can get started putting my sound deadening and insulation up on the ceiling. Now, other things we're doing today is putting these boards on the walls properly. Now that involves an awful lot of bending of this 6mm ply. Now I should have probably done this, well, 5mm ply actually. I should have probably done this in the warmer weather, because it would have been a bit more pliable. The plywood would have been pliable. There's your first. It's free. Okay. This piece is a piece that I had to completely make from scratch from the wood that I'm going to be using to do the ceiling. So it's a very stiff piece of, it's the right shape, but it just needs coaxing in and then fixing in. This side was the side that I literally used as a template. I drew around and then cut that one out. There was a few differences, i.e. this one goes like that and that one doesn't, so I had to, you know, sort of wing that part, if you like, and there we are, that's what it is. But I am going to be putting electrochemic charging points and such and switches here, and I'm also going to be putting another pair of speakers. So all 4 speakers are being used from that JVC stereo, and yes, they are JVC speakers. I can't find them here because they're probably in the shed. So we're going to put speakers in today, finish off the installation, hopefully get the boarding up on the ceiling there, and get the switch gear in. So you've got it's going to be an isolation switch to literally turn this slot on and off, because one of these parts in here is a twin USB charging point, like the one in the dash, with a voltmeter on it. So it will tell you what the voltage is of the battery, or the condition, the state of the battery. So if I leave that on permanently, that will run the battery down. So it will take a time, but it will do. So the isolation switch kills all that power. Now, right. All of which, this rear stuff, I mean, I've got feeds here dangling down. This is a separate fuse behind that panel in the front of the van. Feed there, of which there are 2 or 3, because this van used to have a water heater in the back there. That is all behind this panel. Give me a second. It's all behind this panel, and they're all individually fused there. And there's a little bit of a ledger up there. See, water heater, light bar, tow bar, interior lights, spotlights. So they're all those feeds which go back to there are in, will be fused down separately from a separate little tiny little fuse box controlled by a relay. So nothing's live until the relay's kicked in. Now I need to really put that relay. No, I'm going to leave it as it is. So when you put the key in the ignition, that's that. It all works. That's fine. That's what I want. These lights are all independent. They work whether you got the key in or not. They all work from the front vanity light, if you like. So I've got my work cut out, haven't I? I've really loaded myself up today. Whether I can do that or not, I don't know. I really don't know. That was threaded. I mean cross-threaded. So I need to take this panel back off, these 3 6mm screws. Take this off, re-drill that out, put a new riv nut in there, and go from there. And secondly, where this is already pre-drilled as such, I've got to re-drill it out, and I'm going to be putting riv nuts in there. So this panel will come off easily, and I'll be doing exactly the same this side, so things are catered for. I can remove that fairly quickly. I don't like that huge gap there, so I might try and pull that back a centimetre up there. Look, it can come back this way a centimetre, which would, yeah, I think that will work wonders there. See, it's not far away. Well, there is spot on. I've got a lot of fanning around, haven't I? See, we've got cables here as well. Yeah, earlier on in the series, let's put you behind there, I found out that there are speaker cables either side, all sort of non-used or taped up, but I've unburied them, tested them out, tested them back to the stereo, and they're ready to go. So there we go. Right, let's pop back in the shed. Use a tripod. I can't, I'm walking about. I'm sorry, dog. It's Winston, quality control. Here are the speakers. They are identical. Well, it's not these fly speakers, because the fly speakers are there. That's what I was going to put in, but they're too big and too powerful, and they all unbalance the system. These ones are identical to the front. That's all you need to know. So it'll be for the same speakers. Nice balance system. What else have we got going on here? I've got all sorts. I've had stuff. This is all. Some of this stuff's Temu stuff, so that's at a later date. I've got a hole cutter out just now. It's probably in the shed, in the van. Anyway, I need a brew, I think, to steady my poor little brain, and I need to get these phalanges phalanging. Isn't that right? Woes. Right, we'll catch you in a minute. All right, kids, how you doing? Don't ask. Just don't ask. And you can stick your tripod with us. No, I'm sorry. All my little jobs I was going to do today. If you can imagine the biggest window you've ever seen, they've gone right out of there, and they've gone horizon disappeared. I've not been feeling brilliant, as I said earlier. So I really wasn't going to do anything. So I came out this morning all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed to do stuff. I've done a few things, but at the end of the day now, sun's just beginning to set. It is pretty cold, but I feel like I'm sweating. That's fucking lupus for you. My hands are starting to go scabby again. I think I mentioned that. Anyway, forget all that crap. I've done a little bit. This is what I've done, look. We've got a nice bit of foil. Spongy membraney stuff on there. That's that. I've scraped all that yellow shite off, so it's all nice and smooth. And I've put some black stuff on here. I don't know if you can see that. That's because it's black. It's tricky to record. That's where the light used to be when you open the tailgate, the twin mirror doors. That used to be your light, which sort of shone in that way, and you had another one up in there. So I've brought the cables through because I need to utilize that for other things, like when I'm opening the back of the van, I can then have some lights swiveling sort of thing shining this way, because I've got controls for these cables, so I can turn them on and off. That's not an issue. Right, beef number one. Now, those of you that know me properly well know that I'm ill health retired, and I used to be an electrician. Okay, domestic electrician. I've done industrial, I've done fire alarms, I've done electron lighting, I've done all that kind of stuff. Google it. And over sort of like 28 to 30 year period, and the amount of times I've gone into a place and you know, like a private job, and they've gone, oh, I want to keep this and this, and there's that thing there, can you sort of work out what that is, and then incorporate it? No. I've done so many of them jobs, and it takes twice as long, if not more. Some of you guys will know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like when you're adding stuff to, say, car electrics, for instance, or van electrics, and there's already a system in there. You're not 100% what it is, 100% sure what it is or what it does, and you're trying to work it out, and you get to kind of, you know, a plateau. I've written all down what these cables and all that do. But one day when we were checking the lights, Caroline and I, she went, oh, the fog lights aren't working. So I put the fog light switch on. Just now they're not working. So I'm like, oh, okay. And today, after I'd been indoors 4 times because it's showery, so these panels have been in and out of the van and wet 4 times. I've been in and out. I've been disturbed, distracted by the weather. I don't believe it. It's starting to rain again. Just try it. Come on. Anywho, when I first saw these electrics, when I first took these side panels off and I saw these electrics in here, this extra stuff, I thought to myself there and then, because of the tow bar, oh for fuck's sake, it is raining. I've got to stop, lads.
Going that way.
Rainbow up above the streets and houses, rainbow flying high. Well, I wish it would fly a bit higher, you know what I'm saying? I've got to pack up, haven't I? Is it coming this way? Well, it's raining in our faces.
Yeah, it's going.
It's going this way. We're going to have to pack up.
So, yeah.
Right. We'll see you in the morning. What I was going to say was, guys, if you come across any shit like this, get hold of it and rip it out. Rip it out and throw it at wherever you want. But don't try and sort out wiring. This is the light fitting, okay? It goes up that way, so the bottom one is the fog light, okay? And I've worked out that the fog light is yellow and green. Okay, let me just disconnect that from there, because it wasn't yet. That was doing nothing. That was dead. And this one disappears up into the loom. And look, it's been spliced and cut out. Why? Why do people do this shit? It's all to do with the tow bar and what it was used for. The beacons and all the rest of it, the MOD stuff. Fuck me, rip it out. And start again. Right. Sounds like it's going to blood and thunder, doesn't it? Right, I've really got to go. The other thing was, if ever you're trying to remove your Mary hinge, it's 13mm here. You'll notice that this is a nut and bolt, because you will need a, see that in there? That is a 7mm open end. And I've just managed to get that in there to crack that off to do the new hinge, but I can't do that because it's going to be raining. Yes, I know.
You need to get that light fit.
Right, I've got to get. Okay, right. Catch you later, boys. Give me strength. All right, my boy. You're the only thing sane in this world, aren't you? Hey, you and Kaz. Yeah, you lovely boy. You bark at all the right people. Oh. Well, I'm glad I packed up, because that really doesn't look very nice. And yes, it is all coming this way. Oh, there's a layer there. Look, follow the finger. That might flash and be two clouds rubbing together to form Thunderer. Don't know. Anyway. Yeah, like I said before, I am really sorry about my videos being all this blah, 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 blah. I have cognitive issues, so please forgive me for that. I try and get my words out. The more stressed I get, the more difficult it is to do so, and then the more stressed I get, sort of thing. Couple that with the weather, couple that with not feeling brilliant, couple that with you know, you look at a cable color, and then you go to where it's supposed to go to, and you look for that color. It's not there. No, because they've cut it, dead ended that one, and then they've put their own color on it. Honest to God, I don't even know what to say to it. There are cables coiled up behind that panel, behind the driver's side, what was the airbag, with that new distribution borders, if you like. There are cables coiled up in there. One says fog light. Okay, it's a solid green cable. And the other ones is, I think it says something like spotlights or something like that. Okay. Now, the reason I think they're there, because they could be run to a separate switch, if you know what I mean. So, because I had a green hanging out the back end of the van, doing nothing, going down the D pillar down to the back to the tail light on the driver's side, I thought, I wonder. So I connected that green cable up to a cut green cable. No, sorry, beg your pardon. To a grey cable, one of the two little grey cables that are hanging down in the centre of the doorway at the back, twin doors. Because if you follow the grey cable with the black stripe up, it goes into a bit of mask insulation tape, and it's green. It turns back into that green cable. So that had been snipped down the D-pillar and pulled out. So what I did is I reconnected those two cables, the green to the solid green to the solid green, via a Wago, went to the front, and where the little distribution board is there, I put the green, which had a fog light label on it. I uncoiled it and I put it into the permanent feed pre-fuse, the other side of the fuse, the incoming side. And when I went out the back, both the tail lights are on, not the fog lights, just the tail lights. And the light started bleeping as if you've put the lights on via the light switch, which is by your driver's right hand knee, and you get that bleeping going on when you open the door, warning bleep to get you to turn the lights off. So, you know, I've wasted all afternoon really fanning around trying to work out what they've done with this. And the conclusion I've come up with is never ever try and work out what's what. The stuff that's this is what I'm saying, the stuff that's labelled whatever it is, fog light, whatever it may be, isn't. And I've been belling through trying to find out stuff. On the passenger side at the rear, where all that cluster is, there's 3 or 4 pairs of cables. You've got a purple and black, a black and yellow, and a red and black. They all become live at various points when you put the ignition on via that little distribution board in the airbag compartment. So, and if you look at the fuses in that little panel area, one says like water heater, which is the red and black, light bar, which is the purple and black, and the yellow and black is like interior light or something like that. And yeah, you take the individual little fuses out, each circuit becomes dead. So that's brilliant. That's fine. That's absolutely fantastic. But oh my goodness me. Yes, that's where I was going with that. There was a blue and black. All right. Now, fuse 1 in that little area at the front, the distribution board, the added one by the MOD or whoever it was. Not, you know, pointing fingers. Number 1 fuse was a 30 amp, and it said DIN, and that is permanently live. It doesn't get fired up by the relay when you put the ignition on. All right, so that the blue cable coming off that fuse board going to the rear where the blue and black is, black being ground or earth, permanently live. You put your meter across it and it's permanently 12.11 volts or something like that. But as soon as you put any form of load across it, it goes down to like 6 volts. And I've been banging, I put the ignition on, doesn't make any difference. Because I wanted to use that permanent feed to go to the little switches at the back on the passenger side where the USB charging point is, so I can, you know, isolate it and all that. No. When I plugged this series of switches in to the red and black, which is for the water heater, which is fuse 2, yeah, works beautifully. But that doesn't come on until you turn the key on. And if you're camping, should we say, for whatever reason, in the back of your vehicle, you don't want your ignition on all the time to charge your phone, do you? So you can see my dilemma. I thought at first the switches were knackered. No, switches are fine, because when I put it onto the red and black, like I say, the 30 amp fuse number 2 in a little distribution board behind the fucking airbag, so I thought I had thunder then. Yeah, it works absolutely perfectly fine. So I'm now going to use that feed, and I'm going to try somehow to make that a permanent feed. Don't know. Don't ask. Really disappointed with that. Anyway, as it is, I've packed away again for the 5th time. I'm now going to go indoors and have myself an early night, I reckon. So I really don't feel right. But there we are. Anyway, thank you for looking. Sorry, it's been a disappointing episode of nothingness, really, isn't it? But we get those days. This is the beauty of YouTube, isn't it? You know, you try and make a day's video, condense it into half an hour, and you've really got a pile of crap, haven't you? Anyway, guys, wish me luck for tomorrow morning. Hopefully I feel a bit better, and the sun will be out, hopefully. I want to get this stuff done before winter sets in. I've still got to get the engine sorted out. That's another story. I'm waiting on a pulley. I ordered it on the 2nd of September, and I messaged them, a few days ago. Oh, really sorry. Yeah, forgot to send it out. Do you want it refunded, or do you still want the item? I still want the item, please. Still not seen nothing, not hide my hair of it. And it's the pulley. I've got the oil seal for the camshaft pulley. That's because that's all leaking in that where the cam belt is. It's all leaky. It was all oily in there, wasn't it? So I need to do that. And also the auxiliary, there's another pulley. There's a tensioner and a pulley. And the pulley, I don't think it's ever been changed. So before I can take all that stuff off to fix the freaking engine, I need to have the parts there. And it's just been like that. That's my rant. I'm going to get off my soapbox now and go and have a Ribena, I think. I think so. Anyway, take care, guys. Until I see you again. Thank you for your comments. And those guys are upset because I didn't use my tripod. It's in the back of the van, funny enough. And like I said earlier, it was just a one-off. The start of my Temu opening career. Right, see you all later. See you later, woes.